What a pleasure it is to be able to welcome my old partner, Sue Simmons, in the Silver Circle. What a legend she is. She and I anchored together on the 11 o'clock news for 32 and a half years. And for 32 and a half years, Sue had never had an unspoken thought. There was this sort of running commentary going on all the time about all the foibles and mistakes and imperfections that humanity is known for, but Sue would vocalize them. And somehow for anybody else it would be irritating. Sue, it was endearing. People loved her for it. They loved it because this was the essence of comedy. That Sue was all about that. She loved comedy. She loves playing jokes. She loves being outrageous and dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes. She likes saying things and doing things for shock value. It's what makes her such a fabulous interview. The ability to kind of break through, to pierce through the shell that we all have here, through our comfort zone, and get people to actually spill things they wouldn't even share with their therapist. And Sue can do that. That's why she's so successful in this business. It also made her a very interesting co-anchor. You already heard the story briefly about the chair. My chair. The lever on my chair was right next to Sue on my left. Sue was on my left. And for 32 and a half years, Sue would occasionally, with great skill and great stealth, hook a foot over that lever just before the end of a commercial break or just before we went on the air at night. So if you wonder why I was really a head shorter than she was, the chair would slam from its highest setting, of course, down to the lowest thud, and I'd be on the air. Now that sort of thing will keep you on your toes. For 32 and a half years, it was in-house. Is the script okay? Do you need a modification? What camera am I on? Where's Sue's foot? Bruce Beck sat on the other side of Sue, and one night, just before he was to be on, the commercial break was ending. It was going to come right out to Bruce. And she said, "Bruce, have you and your wife JJ ever been in a threesome?" Bang! He was on camera. This weird thought in his head, and somehow he soldiered through this. I mean, the most professional thing I ever saw. He went on. He did the sports. No chance to retaliate. There was the occasion when there was a story of a baby whale that had washed up on Long Island, and there were marine biologists trying desperately to save the baby whale. And at the end of the story, her co-anchor said something like, "Oh, I hope he gets better." And Sue said, "Oh, I do too, and if he gets better, I'll kiss his little blowhole." Always walking home. Al Roker said that working with Sue was like doing a newscast with an alligator. You never knew when it was going to attack. It just sits there and all of a sudden, snap. He was, one night when he worked with us, he liked to have these little fun facts. And one of them was, if you flip a coin in the air 1,000 times, how many times will it come up heads or tails? And before he could continue, Sue butted in and said, "Well, all I know is if you turn me upside down, it's a party." Walking along the edge. I have a slightly different version of the exploding penile implant story Max told you. I was debating whether to share it with you, but Max broke the ice, and I thought I would anyway. But yes, we got news that something moved over the wires about this catastrophe, an exploding penile implant, and it was something that we in the news department felt was a menace that we had to inform the tri-state area about. In fact, there were some who may have wanted to leave with it that night in the sweeps, but cooler heads prevailed, and we decided to make it a medical report. We assigned it to Max, and Max did a terrific job of taking a difficult subject and explaining it to the viewers, something along the lines of the device had inadvertently had some air left in it when it was installed, and everything was fine with the poor fellow until he took his first airplane ride. And if you've ever seen a bag of potato chips at 30,000 feet, you understand what happened. But anyway, during this entire thing, as he mentioned, he was a bit nervous about what Sue might say when he had to come out sitting next to the tag. And so my recollection is that came out of tape, and Max, sweating bullets, Sue staring at him with that glint in her eye, said that he had to have a surgery to repair his whatchamacallit. And Sue said, Max, Dr. Max, is that a medical term? And of course, Sue achieved a degree of immortality that none of us will ever even hope to come close to reaching. One night, I mean, hundreds of years from now, when our footprints have vanished into the farthest reaches of cyberspace, no digital evidence of us left. Some kid is going to Google anchor drops F-bomb, and there will be Sue in our glory, sitting next to some hapless anchorman. On her last night in 2012, we put together a wonderful piece on her whole life, her career. It was marvelous. It ran about 8 minutes toward the end of the broadcast, about how she was born in Greenwich Village. Her father, a black jazz musician, her mother, a white Chicago suburbanite. She went to Julia Richmond on the Upper East Side, got a job as a secretary, went to announcing school, landed her first on-air job in New Haven, and then went to Baltimore, Washington in 1980, arrived in New York at WNBC, where the Daily News greeted her with the warm headline, "Anchor drops on Chuck." From that point on, the retrospective we had about her life and her career, her remarkable career, revealed how she had taken what was to be only a placeholder of a broadcast, which was live at 5, and turned it into the hottest show on television because of those remarkable skills of hers, her ability to get people to open up on interviews. And we worked together beyond that throughout the years. At the end of the broadcast, at the end of this special we had on, after people from all walks of life, our coworkers, sports stars, all sorts of people, had talked about how great she was and how much they would miss her and how well they wished her. We even had Andy Williams singing "Thanks for the Memories" under the track. I knew this piece was going to leave her in tears. I knew it. There's no doubt about that. The camera came out to her, a tight close-up. She looked up at the lens and said, "Well, shut the front door." Sue is truly one of a kind. She is quite a legend, a living legend. It was such a pleasure to work with her all those years, and such a pleasure to call her my friend. We still dine together occasionally. And we did many times over the years. So please, let's open the front door to Ms. Simmons for the silver slipper.
That's a nice looking award. Thank you, Chuck. Speechless. After all the big build up about, and she shot this and that, and she did that, and she put him down. I'm just so happy to be here and see familiar faces and look at a table full of people that I used to work with. Didn't invite me to sit at the table, but I'll just direct my comment. It's nice to see you all. And when Denise called me a month ago or so and invited me here, I said, so you want a speech from me? She said, well, you can have 2 minutes. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to say thank you to everybody. And the thing about retirement is, as you know, every day is Saturday, so I'm having a good time. But I watch the news with nostalgia, I really do, and then I say, thank God I don't have to do that anymore. How did I have all that energy? You don't realize how much energy you use on a daily basis until you don't do it anymore. So I just want to acknowledge that I have 2 or 3 minutes left. No, I guess I just ate it up. As you can see, I didn't have a prepared speech. I said, I'll just react to whatever's going on. I just love seeing everybody, and I'm so sorry that I'm 4 years short of the golden. 46 years. She goes, well, maybe I'll see you in 4 years and I'll be 80 years old and still standing. Listen, I got my first job in television at 30 years old. And I thought, all right, so I'll have 10 years. Because, you know, at that point in my life, women didn't last much past 40 years old on the air. So I thought I'd have 10 years and I'd have a good resume and I could get a decent job. So to last 40 years has been quite a bonus to my life. And there's not much more to say other than I'm just happy to be here and have survived all these years and have a chance to get another look at people that I used to work with. I see Janice aiming a camera at me. She is the queen of selfies, boys and girls. Camera goes everywhere. So here we go. I don't want to take any more time. I'm just glad to see you all, and much luck and success to everybody for the remaining years of their career. Enjoy every second of it. I certainly did.